Yo, 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 Mr. Mike, what's up, dude?
Hey buddy, how you doing?
Aw, we're doing good. Guys, listen, I brought in the Schillerverse expert, Mike Man, who rocks the profile of oh my god, I forget his name. Holy shit, the guy in the office that nobody
All
likes.
about Toby, man.
All about Toby. Toby and friends. We're here ready to rock. Okay, so you said you just sent a DM about downloading a specific extension before starting here. So we're starting from square one here. What's this extension? What does it do, and like where do I download it?
First and foremost, the extension that you're going to want is called the Freaks Axie extension. You're going to want to download that from the on Chrome,
Okay.
so that way you can see the percentages of the purity on the axes.
And then, was this designed by the official team, or is this something kind of like, moment ranks and whatnot for Top Shot, where it was like a third party?
It's a community driven project.
Gotcha. Okay, so it took me a little bit because I had to make sure that my email was all set up. We had like the app downloaded. I downloaded Axie Infinity. I logged in, and then I couldn't do anything. There was no like, here, click the shop or anything like that. So I actually have to go to like the marketplace via the web browser, and I can't use like the app itself. Is that correct?
The marketplace is all on the web browser, and then if you're actually playing the game, that's where you'll use the Mavis Hub.
Gotcha. So this is kind
So
of
you're going to want to go up to marketplace there.
See, why every time I hit play now does it I've re-downloaded this Mavis Hub thing about 30 times at this point because I'm just like default clicking it. So I don't have any money in my Ronin, but I do have money in my MetaMask. Is that something that I need to do right now or in a little bit?
We can start that in a little bit. What exactly is your goal or your motivation with Axie? Are you trying to build a team? Are you trying to do a bunch of breeding? Where do you stand?
So there's a couple different things, I suppose. Number one, I know that there's a huge Axie community out there, and with us doing the streams, I think that it would be good to like actually play the game. So I guess like create a team if there's breeding aspects on the side of it, and that's something we can kind of like take advantage of, and it would be good for the entire thing. That I'm down for that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways that you can go into Axie. There's, the breeding side, there's the playing side. Scholarships is a huge thing. That's more of a Forges area.
Now, when we're talking about the differences between breeding and creating a team, are there big differences if I'm like actually actively wanting to play versus just creating Axies to breed?
If you're looking to breed, you're going to want to buy virgin Axies, and if you're just looking to play, then you can get ones that have a higher breed count, which are usually cheaper.
Okay, so there's a bunch of different variants here, and like if I'm going to go to the marketplace, I remember looking before where you can go and you can see the lowest price here. I can change it so the breed count is at 0, and these are the ones essentially that I'm wanting to look at. So it looks like, it's about $300 a pop for these. There are eggs as well. So what's the difference between like eggs and just having like a Axie?
The way that the breeding works in this is that you need two Axies to breed together, and the egg that is produced is based off of the parent's traits. And then after 5 days, you can morph it to an adult, and that is now an adult Axie that can be used to sell, breed itself, or play in the game.
I think I saw some of you guys talking about like purity before. Does that just mean like breeding a beast with a beast, or like an aquatic with an aquatic, or what is there like an advantage to doing that versus having like an aquatic and a beast breed?
Yeah, definitely. So if you look on your screen right now, you'll see that the 0.12341 that's there. What does it say? 92% purity. You'll see the capital P,
Right.
and then next to it, that's where it says how pure it is. The higher the purity, usually the better the Axie. Most people want to have high purity Axies to play with because of particular traits that each individual Axie does.
What would be your recommendation if I'm like, hey, I want to do everything, like, I want to get into it, but I want to get into it like the best way possible? What would be like your recommendations of kind of how to build this out right now?
First thing that you'll definitely need, and pretty much every team needs, is your frontline tank. What those are 99.9% of the time are plant types. So over on the filters there, you'll want to select plant. So every part on the axis stands for a different thing. Axes are broken down into six um, areas. You've got the eyes, the ears, the mouth, the head space, the back space, and the tail space. So, for example, the one that you were pointing out there at the front, on the back, it has that flower. That is a particular move type. So, if you see over on the body parts area there, that'll tell you that um, what each one is. And in terms of the mouth, head, back, and tail, those are going to be your move parts, your cards that you can play in the actual game.
Yeah, and so if I was to say like this is kind of like Magic the Gathering type deal with like these different move sets of like deal 120% damage if this Axis shield breaks, it's like the 3 versus 3 because I remember seeing some videos on it before. I think is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So,
Awesome.
the actual PvP version of this, the player versus player, is going to be a team of three versus a team of three, and you're playing an actual person and their Axie team. Based on a couple of different stats, will determine who goes first, who goes second, etc. for each individual Axie, and then it goes into like strategy beyond there. So sometimes you'll want to play particular cards in a chain or etc. to try to maximize your damage. And
We've got our tank. I mean, we haven't bought it yet, but we know that we need that front line. What's the next step?
next up is going to be your midliner. There's a few different ways that people go about this, but I believe that you want to have something that is going to give you high damage. Usually, you're looking at your aquas. Um, the aquatic types are often used for the midliners. Also, beasts are often used.
The mid lane, aquatic, beast. In theory, we're sitting here at a 0 breed count, and I've heard a lot of people say that you need like 3 teams. So if I'm going into this, am I like literally buying, like 3 beasts, 3 plants?
Only if you're going to be doing breeding.
Okay.
If you're just going to start out by playing the game, then you're only going to need realistically 3 to start. Once you get used to it and get kind of comfortable with the game, you might want to trade out certain axes for other axes, which is the beauty of the marketplace is you can, list your axie up and go buy one to replace it pretty quickly. But unless you're going to start breeding, that's where you need multiple axes because you obviously want to pair up your
Right.
good axes together.
Okay, and then for the breeding, not to change too much here, but the like length that it takes, the value proposition, if you will, like how much does it cost to breed? How much in theory do you make? How long does it take to breed?
The more that you put in, the more you'll get out. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say, but that's the truth of it. Breeding is based on the breed count. That's why I was saying that, a 0 breed versus a 3 breed, there's a different price because breeding a virgin is going to be cheaper than if they already have been bred 3 times.
So we have the front line of the plant, we got the midline of the beast or the aquatic, and then for the third piece, what are we looking at?
Our buddy in Discord, Val, he does what are called Terminators. You want to have the high health on the backliner because you want to keep them alive. It also has particular cards that make it so that way the other player has to discard cards or they lose energy or they get stunned. Those are a very expensive hybrid. Those are like if you're trying to go competitive, that's where you're going to want to go with your backliner usually.
And just to verify, or like, sorry, check again for the pureness or the breed count or anything, it matters or it doesn't matter in terms of like the PvP aspect. If we're not talking about breeding whatsoever, does how many they've bred matter at all?
For actual gameplay, you're still going to want to have all usually all 6 parts be of the same class. So if you're doing, in this example, the aquas, you're going to want to have your aqua usually be all 6 aqua parts.
How can I tell that? Like when I look
So-
down here, I can see Shoal Star. I would assume Sleepless Linking, but the other three don't look like it's an Aqua thing.
3 of the parts are Aqua, 3 of them are not. So to sort down in the marketplace, if you want to hit the back button there, over on the filter, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see Pureness, and there'll be a bar, down a little bit there, right there.
So 0.2.
I would say that 0.2 is probably not actually there. Those are probably ones that are a bit glitched on the marketplace.
Oh shit.
Shadow,
Okay, so it's
RJ Barrett,
0.3.
Ice ones.
Okay. Okay. So it's all the way up to 0.3. And so you're saying these pureness things really do matter.
The 6 out of 6 purity matters. The like percent that's next to them, unless you're breeding, doesn't matter as much.
Okay.
Also, if you're not breeding, you don't got to worry about the breed count.
Okay, W. I love it. And then for the stats here, the default, I think, okay, it's out of 100, so like 45 out of 100 seems super low, but is it out of like 60 or 70, or is it just you don't know what the cap of these stats are?
The max that you can have in any one stat would be 61.
Yeah, all right, now it's about like just getting the axes then, is that correct? Or is there anything else that we have to like discuss about like game plan or anything like that?
Unless you wanted to go into breeding, which is a whole nother conversation. But if you want to stick purely to gameplay today, then I think now's a good time to start looking to buy a team.
Okay, and I'm down to talk about breeding just for a minute, just for like an educational purpose for me and anyone tuning in right now. What does it take to become like a decent breeder, profitable, et cetera, et cetera?
So you're going to want to start with 4 axes of the same type. So you're going to want to get 4 plants or 4 aquas, because the goal is to not have to buy more axes. You would want to have 4 of a particular type, 3,600 SLP, and 24 AXS tokens. I don't know what the current market value.
Well,
of
that sounds
is,
like
but
relatively expensive. Am I correct in that assumption?
probably 2.5 to 3 ETH. If I had to estimate, I don't know for sure.
And then,
though.
like, what's the profit on that though? Like, I'm assuming people do it because like you make the money back.
It is a little bit of a gamble, just because you aren't 100% guaranteed what you'll get back. Yeah, so if you're doing 3 eggs, you could probably make at least 0.15, 0.2 ETH for 3 eggs.
0.15 for 3. That seems really low though, because like, wasn't that? Because
That's your profit, though.
Oh, that's your profit. Sorry. Okay, I get you.
That's not your returns. That's your profit after selling everything and covering your bases. So, I sent you a link to a decent starter aqua.
Wait, are you King Axie Farm?
That might be me.
This guy's just hiding behind the name. Sheesh. All right, love it. Okay, so why is this one a triple double banger?
As you can see, the body parts are all the 6 out of 6 aqua parts. So you're going to get the full 57 speed, 45 health, which is a good baseline for it. If you're just looking to get your feet wet and kind of get started today, I would just buy a couple of decent aquas and a plant today. And then if you find that you really, really like the gameplay and you want to take it seriously, then you could watch, the metas. You could learn about how to use a Terminator, stuff like that.
All right. Well, Mike, we'll call it for right now. We'll chat a little bit, figure out what we're going to kind of jump into. I'm going to cover one of the next drops coming up.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. Hopefully we can have some more discussion soon.
Yo, hell yeah, dude. All right, Axie streams more often. We'll chat soon. Thank you so much, boss.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, there's Mike. Sheesh, what a legend. Okay, so yeah, I just want to, I don't want to like buy stuff on stream. I wanted to like kind of go over everything.